right, what is up, everyone? We are here with Wheezy. If you are on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, if you're on TikTok, you may have seen Wheezy shove her arm in a Pringles can. You may have had her scream at you either in a mirror or in her car. And if you're an OG, you know that she fucking hates milk. But we're going way back. But Wheezy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm actually really excited. I also really love your background, Mothman back there. Did
Oh, thank
is that
It's
you.
man
ripped.
painted?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole wall is painted.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. There was an artist that I actually went to high school with, and in like 6 hours, she just the full mural. Like we got Bigfoot over here, Mothman,
Yeah.
The
rip
deer
sit
behind
ups
me.
every day,
I
berries.
love
Yeah, but thank you so much for joining us. This is Terrified Together. As our audience knows, we got listener submitted stories that we're gonna be telling. Charlie and I each have one. So that'll be fun. But just to let the audience get to know you a little bit. So you like what do you identify as, like, content creator, influencer? Like, how did you get into this whole thing?
I don't know, I just identify as I'm working here, like,
Okay.
everywhere. So, like, I don't know, I guess maybe streamer, influencer, I don't know, 'cause at first, like, I guess you could say influencer 'cause there's I don't really necessarily know what the difference between the terms is or, like, what
I don't think
differentiates.
it's defined. I was curious what you thought of it.
Yeah, I don't really necessarily think it's defined, I think I'm just here. I'm here, and that's it.
What made you wanna start creating videos? Was TikTok the first platform that you really attacked?
Yeah, so I started creating videos just because, like, I was bored. I was living with somebody at the time that I was with for a really long time, and I don't know, I was just alone a lot, and I noticed that I didn't really, like, have friends from high school, we all kind of, like, our lives carried on, and a lot of people lost touch, so I was like, "Ah, I don't know, like, TikTok seems fun," and I literally pushed that shit away for so long, I was like, "Nope, I'm not gonna download it. I'm not gonna do it," and then I downloaded it,
Same. I
and
just
then
fell
I
into the
started,
rabbit
like,
hole.
"Oh, this trend seems kind of fun. Maybe I'll do that. Nah, I'm not gonna post it though. Nah, I'm not gonna post it though. Maybe I'll post it." And I just kinda kept doing that, and I don't know, I've always been somebody that doesn't have a plan. I just kinda go with the flow. I might have, like, an idea of a plan, but usually it never goes according to the plan. So,
Yeah, I have to say your content always comes off, incredibly authentic. Because like, you have certain things like, you do transitions incredibly well, and then obviously there was, like, the screaming in the car stuff and the Pringle can stuff with your arms and everything like that, but it just never feels like it's ever too forced, and sometimes it feels really random, but it's, like, really refreshingly random.
yeah, and it feels that way for me too, but, like, there's I could have gone and, done several things and gone off the same shtick over and over again and, still be screaming good morning every morning, like, naturally, but I can see when I I don't know, I'm an observer and I can see when things start kinda trickling off and it's kind of like, "I'm also tired of this." If I'm tired of this, they can see that, they can sense it. It's not even if I think it's not showing, it's just there. It's an air, it's an aura, it's a so you just I think that's what content creation can be, is a niche, which is not a bad thing, but I think also content creation is a really good way to have an outlet for yourself too.
I think that's a little bit of a scary jump though, right? Because it's like if you find a formula that works, you know what I mean? Like I feel like you could have been like, these screaming in the car videos are really successful. Maybe I shouldn't rock that boat. You know what I mean? But so I think it takes courage to try something else. But I don't blame anyone for getting caught and thinking they can't.
Exactly. I mean, you're gonna give yourself 1,000 reasons not to do something, you know? It's you gotta at least like, okay, well, if there's one good reason, maybe. And sometimes you don't even have to think about it. Like for me in content creation, I haven't really ever thought about it. I just kind of did. I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know how I got here. It was an accident completely, but I feel lucky nonetheless.
Well, you're doing something because it's connecting with people, and I think truly the authenticity and the time and effort that I know you put into it. But being a paranormal podcaster, I have to ask, what is your relation to horror media, like scary movies, scary video games, scary stories in general? Like, how does that land for you?
I find myself very bored with scary movies just in general, but I've always found myself in like the aspect of like urban legends or like things that could be real, but you don't know if they are, or like, so like creepypasta was a huge thing when I was younger. And, I had this friend, like, we did, it was called cat scratch, and people, like, we
Yeah.
would do the like, we were all about it, and I don't know, it's just, like, it's kind of a fun side, it's scary, it make me very nervous, but, you know, it's it's the unknown that's really inspiring, I guess.
Did
I
you
don't
get
know.
scratched or did anyone get scratched when you're doing the cat scratch game?
Yeah, one of us was bleeding, it was crazy.
Oh,
Oh my
jeez.
god.
You do that
Yeah.
thing where, like, someone's head is in your lap and you say the story and then they check their
Wow.
back. Yeah,
We did a episode and that we talked about the cat scratch. I'd never heard of that before that.
there's a lot of people that say it works, and I feel like there's people that are trying to, like, scientifically think of, like, how while laying down does it, but that's bleeding, that's crazy.
Bleeding, like, okay, maybe not bleeding, but it was, like, borderline bleeding. It was kind of
Yeah.
like, "Who did that? Who did that? Who's fucking with me right now?"
They're just committing to the part, just
Really
got a
just
razor, they're like, "Ugh, everyone will remember this."
Yeah.
Do you have any paranormal encounters or experiences of your own? We can save it for a little bit later, but I'm just curious.
I think-ish. I'm indifferent. I really like to believe in the paranormal, but also if I do, then I get really scared 'cause
Okay.
like, what can they do?
You're
What
gonna love these stories then.
That's why it's called Terrified Together. We all get to be kind of freaked out.
Oh, I love being freaked out.
Okay, all right, let's get into our first story. So this is from one of our listeners, Anna from Alabama, and takes place at a nursing home. So Anna says that this is the first time she ever shared this encounter publicly, and now it's out there. So I appreciate. Thank you, Anna, for
She's
trusting us
not
to,
doing it Sophia
to
style.
tell your story. This is not anonymous. This is Anna. We won't say a last name, but she is out in Alabama. She says that she's had ghost-like experiences before, prior to this encounter, and she always tries to stay skeptical and rule out possibilities as to what she's experiencing. And she says she doesn't really see entities often as much as she would feel them.
Okay.
Even feeling them is a lot, I think. So
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And the people that send us these stories that have these encounters, they're like, yeah, just little
I'm
stuff
just
like
a
hearing
little stupid.
voices,
Yeah.
levitation, and like that would rock my world. But okay.
I wouldn't want to wake up another day. I would be like, "Alright, toodaloo, bitch. Like, get me out."
Wheezy, you'd be shocked how many people are like, I got scratched and I heard a voice in my ear and then I went back to bed. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
I'm sorry, you slept after that?
Yeah. That's the biggest question.
Yeah, that's when I'm like, this is crazy. These people are,
I
ice in
go
the
to
veins.
somebody's house and I tell them and I'm scared with them, and then they're scared because they think I brought it with me.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you make friends. So, anyway, she tries to trust her gut and she never encountered anything that she didn't feel was human until this experience. So, Anna worked in a long term healthcare facility for 3 years. It was her first healthcare job, and she enjoyed it, but there was definitely a heavy energy to it, which is honestly super understandable given where she's working. She said she's heard things, she's seen shadowy figures walking around, witnessed doors close on their own, and was even shoved once. So she's pretty accustomed to stuff that's happening here. Death had to be something that they were pretty comfortable with. Again, being shoved by a spirit at my job does not, I don't think that was in the job
And you
description.
work at home.
She doesn't work from home.
You do though. Like,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that would really suck. That would really suck, dude.
yeah.
Literally, I would be so shocked, I probably would have shit my pants every time. If it happened more than once.
You
Yeah.
just you have to keep going to the manager's office. Be like, I don't know. I keep shitting my pants. Stuff keeps
Somebody's
happening.
pissing me off right now.
I think that might be a you thing. So, one particular morning, Anna was working in her hall and walking down the corridor, and she said the air suddenly shifted. Like the air became really thick and heavy, almost as if there was this dense fog in the space, but she didn't see any fog, there was nothing visible. And goosebumps quickly covered her body, and she became really uncomfortable. She said it was like her brain entered fight or flight and everything was on caution mode. So towards the end of the hall, she looked into one of the rooms and she saw something that she would never forget. And here's a quote from Anna. It's a longer quote, but I want to put in her words. Quote, I'll start by saying that I saw this in my mind's eye, which is a phrase that I thought was bullshit until I actually experienced this firsthand. It suddenly made sense to see something so clearly without actually seeing it. And there's no other description. In a chair towards the doorway was an entity sitting and watching an elderly woman in the far corner. I was transfixed. I couldn't move. There was no discernible features of a face or a body. It was almost like a black silhouette, but instead of a shadow, it moved more like ink and water. And in the core middle of this ink like body was a white glow that blended out towards the black. I imagine this would be like the torso to hip area of a normal body. There were no arms, but rather large draped shapes, almost like a robe. The head was a distinct cow shape. The closest comparison I have to this visually is actually the silhouette of Mother Mary in a lot of Catholic artwork. While this thing was sitting in the chair, I got the impression that if it wanted to, it could fill the entire room with its form. It felt massive and ominous, but not entirely threatening. There was no sensation of good or evil, just neutral. In a strange way, I knew that it knew I was aware of it, almost like I was given permission to see it. It felt neither masculine or feminine, and it certainly did not feel human. Nothing about it felt close to human, and it was unsettlingly calm. I then noticed I had tears streaking down my face, and I felt hot. I quickly ran down the hall to go outside and sit down. Unquote.
Sounds like death, dog. Like someone describing the Grim Reaper.
Black inky.
Yeah.
That would make sense, honestly, that death would be lurking around there.
Yeah. In the nursing home.
Oh,
Gotta clock
absolutely.
in every day.
Yeah. It's like,
this is
how
my
old are you?
this is my seat.
Never clock out, bitch.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah. That's very creepy.
The mind's eye thing is very interesting too, because I feel like that it's not a taste, touch, sight. Like I feel like with the mind's eye, it's probably hard.
So a sixth sense.
It's hard to probably explain that.
I'm trying to understand what they mean because, like, I don't think I've experienced something like that, so I can't know. But that makes me upset.
Gotta open it up. Open that eye up. Come on. Wink.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want that. Let me be clear though. Let me say this. I don't think I want to experience that. Like I'm not a super sensitive person. Charlie is certainly more sensitive than I am. But
She's still not very.
sometimes I wish I could experience more, but then I hear stuff like this and I'm like, I'm good.
Like maybe
All right.
one time. One time, right? Like once.
Once you get the
It's
sleepies,
Pandora's box, bitch. You can't close
Mhm.
Pandora's box.
That's right.
get the sleepies out of your mind's eye and it's awake. Put some drops in there. Dude, my blind, mine might be fucking colorblind. I need to put some glasses up there.
One like a monocle.
I bet I have bad sight. I have bad eyesight. All right, so back to Anna. So while sitting down, she just starts sobbing. So she leaves the room, she's down the hall, sits down, just starts bawling.
She took a seat just there.
And again, she's in a very traumatic place. So she's kind of used to shit happening. So this is not normal for her. She prides herself on always staying calm during crisis. But anyway, so once she calmed down, she decided to go back inside. And she thought, maybe this was a once in a lifetime thing. Maybe it would be gone. Enough time has passed. She's skeptical. Maybe it wasn't even real. But the air feels the same. It's still thick. And when she walks by the room, that thing is still there in the same spot.
Bye.
Yeah. So a moment later, a rush of nurses run into the room and they begin taking her vitals. And they inform the rest of the staff that this woman had entered the dying process and they were waiting for her family to arrive. And I assume, based on the context of this, that the other nurses' eyes were firmly shut because they didn't mention anything about this entity, unless they were just so fucking exhausted as nurses. They're just like, I don't got the time.
You're just
for
so
this.
tired of seeing the same shit every day.
I don't got time for no house on a haunted hill ass blinky,
I have to
inky
sing this
black.
person not time for your fucking demon ass, okay?
So for 2 hours, Anna pretended to be casual about this, continue her work, while this entity literally stayed there the entire time. But as soon as the elderly woman's family arrived, it vanished. The air went back to normal, and she no longer felt this presence or anything like that. She said the elderly woman ended up living for a couple more days, all the while her family was there, and that entity never came back. So looking back at it, Anna thinks that this thing was actually just sticking around and waiting until the family came. Kind of like she's kind of putting a peaceful lens on it, which is interesting because it's not the reaction she had, but her reaction doesn't make it truth. I guess that's her own perception of it. But she makes it seem like it was kind of something they're watching over this elderly woman until her family had a chance to be there.
I mean, I could see it though. Like it is almost like a shepherd. And if she's got people around her, it doesn't feel like, shepherding. Her
I
soul.
will say I've heard that entities are supposed to look way different for us if we can see it or whatever, and most of the time, they probably look menacing, like but most of the time, maybe they're not, I don't know. I don't really know. I have friends that say that they're, like, clairvoyant, and I don't know if I believe it or not kind of thing, like, seeing an entity and being able to describe it is kinda, hmm.
Yeah. Again, I do envy that power. I would like to see it, like, once, I think.
It's tough because I am skeptical by nature, but we get so many stories. So many people claim to see things. It's like they're not all lying, you know?
Right.
No,
That'd
go
be a
ahead.
lot of people lying, and then we got a problem.
Yeah. You're just fibbers.
Fibbers! That's so funny.
So she thinks it wasn't an angel, it wasn't a demon, not a friend or anything, just a guardian at a threshold waiting for someone to cross over. So she'll never understand, but Anna thinks that she was granted a small glimpse into something very mysterious.
Yeah.
That's her encounter.
I think so too.
Hmm.
So we won't do it now. We'll save it for the end of the episode. But the way that we do this is we have a scale where we go believable, viable, skeptical, unbelievable, and we rate whether or not we find the story believable. It sounds a lot harsher when it's somebody who sent us a story. If we're doing like, the skunk ape or like the wampus cat, it's a lot more freeing to be like, that sounds like, it's BS. I'll admit it is harder when someone sends us a personal story to
Or
be
the
like,
lizard man. You're like,
that's fake.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't feel right being like, "Nah, fake." Like, still skeptical, though.
That is it is on the scale. Okay, before we get to Charlie's story, let's talk about the boogeyman a little bit. Can you tell us a little bit about this project, this short horror film?
I can only tell you so much about it, but it seems like we will be, it seems like we have things getting together pretty quickly. It's just gonna be really cool. I really don't know what I'm allowed to say about it except for that,
Well,
it's
we want people to support you from it. So what
Yeah,
can
yeah.
you
You
say
don't
to
gotta tell us about the plot.
garner support? What can we do?
Yeah, what can listeners do if they want to support this short horror
well,
film?
there's a GoFundMe. Uh, I mean, yeah, there's a GoFundMe that's kind of helping with, like, production, with, like, basically, like, the production, the, actual set, the special effects, things like that. So, basically, this is being funded by people of, like, my community or other communities and, Joshua's community, who's the person that is directing this and writing it. But, yeah, I mean, there's a way that you could do that. I mean, making sure that you're keeping up to date with it and, I don't know, it's pretty cool. It's kinda cool. I don't know if I would but, we're gonna see how it turns out.
Is this one of your first acting opportunities?
Totally first time, yeah.
Do you have
I don't
a
even know what the fuck I'm doing. I literally have never even been into an acting class except for 6th grade, and that was, like, mandatory.
I got my bachelor's degree in theater.
Really?
Yep. I don't know how it happened either.
I don't know how you got a job.
I wish I did theater when I was growing up, but I just didn't fit in with the crowd.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it's
I get
it's
that.
certainly clicky, which is you hear a lot about people, I think, where there was a passion there, but there's like a roadblock, whether it's like sports, but you hate the coach, or acting and it's a click. And when you're like 15,
It means
or
everything.
yeah, that means like
Yeah.
looking back now, you're like, why did you let that stop you from a passion?
Yeah.
But when you're in high school, it's like, no.
Yeah.
No, but I know Tyler is excited. I'm excited for you. This is gonna be very cool.
I think so too. I'm so stoked. I'm giddy about it. I wanna talk about it, but I don't know what I'm allowed to say except
Yeah,
for I'm just really excited.
yeah, I don't want to get you in
I don't
trouble.
want to break a NDA or some kind of clause. And
Are we allowed to say the name? I did say the boogeyman. Is that
I
okay?
mean, I think that's kind of like I think it's I don't know exactly what it's gonna be called yet, but it's kind of like a yeah, it's something alike to something like that.
is
Uh,
that what it's called on GoFundMe?
allegedly the
Think
boogeyman.
so. Boogeyman,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. When you go on GoFundMe, I think the boogeyman, and they'll come up.
It'll be hopefully a continuing process of making it a real film, but
We
you
can
know.
try to put a link in the.
Yeah, we'll put a link. If you can send us a link for the GoFundMe, we'll put it in the description of the episode so people can support it and check it out. One of our things that we do on Patreon is watch short horror films. And I don't know how short your short might be. Short can be 30
It can be
minutes. It can
anything.
be 5, but we do it on Patreon and sometimes they're so good. Like we just watched one today that legitimately got us scared from Alter and it's
Really?
Yeah, it was really good. It
it's
actually
co-
came out
it
yesterday.
came out yesterday. It's called Wake. I know I don't it might bore you. It might bore you, but it's called Wake. It's from Alter on YouTube. There's no sponsorship here. We just watched it today and
Alter is just very good.
we were watching it like this. It was scary.
I love that. Cool. Okay. Wake. Sounds good.
So, okay, so you said you kind of have a paranormal experience, maybe. Is that can you wanna talk about that?
Well, so I have a couple. I'm trying to decide which one I want to tell you. And it's kind of there's one that's a shared experience. But so like one of my friends is clairvoyant and she says she's clairvoyant. I don't like I said, I'm very skeptical just because I don't know, like it feels unreal, but hey man, I don't know. It was a weird time. So I was doing my makeup and she was doing her makeup in a different mirror of mine and she was telling me about being able to see like ghosts and being able to speak with them or understand them or they can send her feelings or whatever it was and I was like, "Okay, well, because she was also telling me that I had an entity in my house that had showed himself to her, but he doesn't speak, but he like wears a top hat and he's like from the 1940s and I was like, "Okay, that's fucking." And so she's doing her makeup, I'm doing my makeup, and so I'm kind of asking her questions. I guess I'm kinda quizzing her, trying to see if I'm gonna believe her or not, or, see what she says. And so I'm asking her like, "Oh, like, huh, I wonder, like, why he chose to be around," or like, "I wonder what his name is." Without skipping a beat, she goes, "Henry." The craziest part about that was in the relationship where I started doing TikToks and, like, living there and all of that stuff, there was an absolute I cannot even fucking describe it to you, I can just tell there was an entity there that was turning on the TVs, doing whatever. I didn't know the name, I didn't know where it came from, I was just kind of like, "Ah, it's a ghost, whatever." But I named it Henry,
Oh.
and I
Oh,
never told her his name. I never told her the story about the entity in that place. And
wow.
she said, Henry," without a beat, and I looked at her, I dropped my eyebrow pencil and I went, "You're fucking kidding me." And she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Did you just say Henry?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Bitch, I have a story." And it was one
Wow.
of the weirdest things, among some other things, like, lights turning off and on, like, my lights in here, like, Henry Henry was with me when I moved here, but all of a sudden he disappeared, I don't know where the fuck he went, but he
Mm.
doesn't fuck with my lights anymore, and I kinda miss him.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
he had some other stuff. Maybe he moved on. Maybe he found his
Don't tell me that. He was dapper.
I like how the story was about Henry rather than it was Henry.
Yeah.
You could have told us about Henry.
Well,
That's
he's in past tense now. He's dead to me.
Oh,
yeah, he's
well, he's
done.
also dead to a lot of people,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Wow.
That's pretty crazy,
That
actually.
had to be such a crazy, like, moment of, "Holy shit." Like, and now you kinda have to believe her, right? That she's clairvoyant, like
A little bit, but there's been like some other things that I'm kind of like, I don't know. But like I said, like when I was okay, so I have a second story. So
yeah.
I have a twin brother. So we grew up, like playing with like those kitchenette toys or whatever. And we had an older one that was like thrifted. So like not everything worked unless, tried to turn it really hard to make a sound go, whatever.
Mhm.
And my mom and my grandmother were sitting on the couch and they were watching us play with it. And I was trying to make the water make the sound, but I couldn't turn the dial. I couldn't get it to work. My mom started getting up to, turn it for me. It turns by itself and it starts playing the water sound. And she kind of just like sat there like,
Oh
"You
my
guys see that
goodness.
shit?" And so, she kind of sits back down and I try to do it again. It does it. Like it does it again. Cause my brother and I were trying to get the water to keep playing.
Wow.
And we were just like, screwing around and that's a story that I was told. I don't necessarily remember it, but like, I don't know, there's just
I bet your mom believes it.
yeah. Oh yeah, no, yeah. She's connected to something. She's connected spiritually somewhere, somehow.
Well, I have to say as a parent, if, like, an entity helped my child with, like, shit around the house, that'd be pretty clutch. Like, "Dad, will you get this?" I'm like, and
Do
then it
the
just
MVP,
happens.
bitch.
It's like, "Alright, you good." Oh, it'd be
Hey,
really
can you
crazy.
watch him really quick? I got a shower.
Yeah, it'd be crazy if the remote just flew over there. Yeah, totally believe in ghosts if that happened.
That's funny. Um,
Ghosts like our AI, like robot slaves.
I feel like that's like a dystopian novel idea right there.
yeah. I think you have to
Or
keep
maybe
working.
utopian.
You have to keep working in the afterlife. That's pretty dystopian.
Oh, like, yeah, you're like, I died, but at least I gotta work anymore."
Yeah.
They're like, "No."
Heaven is actually hell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there
Uh,
is no minimum wage.
You don't even get paid, and you're
no.
here
Yeah.
forever now. You're
Oh,
stuck. That's what
that's
you get for
so
dying.
rough.
You hated your life before, hate it more now.
This is scarier than anything we've ever
I
talked
need to
about.
double die. I know.
Okay, so we're gonna get into my story now. Yeah?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it.
So this is from Clara. I almost said her last name. I'm not gonna do that to her.
Doxer.
No. She's from Canada. She's from the Great White North, Alberta.
Cool.
So this story,
The kindest ghosts.
no,
Oh.
it's strange.
It's not a polite ghost.
So she sent us a message about this encounter, but it's not about Claire's. It's about her mother. Unfortunately, her mother has passed at this point, so it's about her mother's life encounter with this entity. She also said that her late mother would have loved this podcast, which I'm just like, oh, that's very sweet.
That is sweet.
It is.
Yeah.
So she said she had several paranormal events, but this thing that she's told us about has haunted her for her mother's whole entire life. More weighed on her more than anything else, which I totally get after this. Claire said that also she wrote down everything her mother said just in case she ever started seeing this entity as well, and it came for her after her mother died.
Wow. I know we don't know what happens, but the weight of I better write this down just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah,
like,
no, my family is known for doing that too, and it's pretty
oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
It's heavy.
It feels
It
heavy.
is.
So her mother had this experience, like I said, her whole life from 1974 from her birth to her death in 2018.
That's young too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She said her mother had a fairly unstable childhood, and that was putting it lightly. Her family moved around constantly, and there was always a strong chance that she was never in her home. Like she was in between her home and like foster homes a lot, and just it was never stable. She did this until she was about 16, and then she skipped out of her shitty situation and moved out by herself.
Wow.
But the events happened before that, so we're going to start when she was young. And her mother told us that everywhere she lived, all these homes, all these places, she would inevitably see something she would call her angel, which sounds nice. Sounds nice, right, guys?
That sounds
It's
great.
nice. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Wow, you're telling me there's foreshadowing right now.
No, it's a good thing. It's a good angel.
That's the story. It's cool.
All right.
Wow.
Believable.
She said she would only ever see this thing one time per home. But when she did see it, she knew that it was time to move on. I don't know. Like she would be uprooted, not necessarily by choice, but when she saw it, things were going to
So
change.
it was like a harbinger of, or like an omen that it's like your time in this house is done.
Yes. Yeah. So she was young, like I said, when she first saw this. She saw it in Red Deer, Alberta. She was just a kid, and she was struggling to sleep because it's hard to sleep when you've got the weight of your parents' stress on your shoulders. And she was rolling in her bed, and she described it to Clara as a bright white figure. She said it was almost like a triangle, like it had no features, no faces, no hands. It was just a big triangle, and then where the face was, an upside
You
down.
live with naughty?
No,
Yeah.
dude,
No, they were calling her.
it's fucking alien, bro. This is an alien.
I don't think so. She said she was so young at this point that shapes were kind of all she really grasped. Like she was that young.
That means it probably wasn't even just a shape. That's just the way that she like processed.
Yes, exactly. That's what I think it is.
That's actually scarier.
She said she didn't actually put it together that this was her angel until later. She wasn't scared at all, which is good because she was a kid. She said it was just a beautiful glowing shape at the time. Her mother was removed and placed into foster care very shortly after this. She lived in that foster care home for a few years, and that's when she saw it again at night again. But this time it was less bright. It appeared to her in her room, and it was standing in the corner.
Standing.
It was facing her, but it had more detail this time. Its hands were small and skinny, but she still had no fear of it at this point. And then she moved again, back in with her mom in Prince Georgia, British Columbia. And at this point, her mother started working as a waitress illegally, just to help keep her mom afloat.
So she's underage.
She's probably pretty young. I don't know how old she is. I'm assuming like 14, 13.
Yeah, sure.
So she'd be up really late at night, and she wouldn't sleep until 3 a.m, and she'd get up and go to school. It was a very stressful time. One day, she was staying home sick because she was probably burnt out, and She was in her living room, sleeping on her couch. She was in between dozing in and out, and from the couch, she could see into the dining room and past that into the kitchen. And when she woke up from a bout of sleep, she saw this same entity in the kitchen. Again, it was standing there in the corner, but its back was turned to her. It was facing into the corner.
Like Blair Witch shit.
Yeah. And this was the first time the entity gave her a chill of fear.
Mm.
The only light in the room was a ray of sun that beat against its back. It had lost its beautiful glow entirely. She said its skin was like stone. Its shoulder blades were so sharp that it cast shadows on the entity's back. And she could see the spine outline through the skin, and it rippled. Her mother didn't say if the entity had hair or even what it was wearing. The only memory was of its sharp, skinny bones that she could see through the skin.
It's interesting as she's growing and
Yeah,
evolving. Like
changing.
this thing is kind of aging
Yeah.
as well.
It's changing through her lifetime. It's going to keep changing. We're not done.
She's like, all right, I'll go pack my bags. I know what this means. I'll get my luggage.
Done yet? Are you kidding, bro?
Oh, yeah, there's more. There's more here.
Are you so? I know you know what happens, but at
Yeah.
this point, would you be thinking alien potentially?
No, I didn't think alien here.
All right.
No, what I think, even through the end of this, I think it's some kind of guardian. I do. That is taking on her circumstances, her sickness, her whatever, and almost is a manifestation of it. That's what I think. I don't know. I have no evidence behind that, but it seems like it's growing with her as her situation isn't getting better.
Yeah, no, I could see that.
Thank you for bearing with me.
Sippy cup.
So once again, after seeing it, she moved and she went back to Alberta, which back to Alberta sounds like a band name or an album.
To Alberta.
Back to Alberta, that sounds pretty good,
I
right?
was gonna say Red Deer, Canada sounds like the most fucking Canadian town ever. I'm from.
There's a band I like called Belmont, and they're from Canada. But back to Alberta sounds like a really good album title to me.
Yeah.
So she was 16 at this point. She was living on her own, and not on her own. She was outside of her parents. She was living with her roommate and her sister. She was still waiting tables, and she kept rough hours. She slept in a twin bed in the same room as her sister at this point. And from her bed, she could see the closet door. And after another late night shift, she was in bed facing closet. And she knew that this was because this was one of her constant tics as she grew up, as she had her daughter. Like, they were always closing things, making sure the lights were off. It's something that she developed possibly from this encounter. So as she's in the bed trying to sleep, it's the dead of night, and she sees the closet door slightly open. And from this, she could see in the closet a small green glow of lights. For the first time, she saw the face of her angel.
No.
She did. It was a man with green skin, sunken eyes, and its
He's a
mouth
liar.
hung. Its mouth hung a little too low from the rest of its face, with its jaw open.
You said
Like an alien.
Sorry.
She felt fear for the first time seeing this face, or like the really fear. And this is a quote. She said, after this, it disappeared for a little while, despite her moving around. So after she moved out, Clara and her eventually reconnected, but only a few months before she'd passed. She said she was constantly seeing this figure around her home at this point. She said she saged it. It was new construction, but no kind of cleansing got rid of this thing. She would see it in mirrors, around corners, and even waiting for it in her car. The last time she saw it was one night. She'd been watching TV, and when she shut off the TV, she saw in the reflection. It was sitting next to her on the couch.
Ugh.
No, it wasn't.
Ugh.
So that's really the end. We've got one more quote. She said, my mother had a lot of mental hurdles. She had a really challenging and unforgiving life, which we kind of went over a little bit. She was diagnosed with mental disorders, of which I won't get into, which is totally fair.
Sure.
But she never hallucinated, nor had she had any manic episodes. I'm not sure of the validity of her story, but I never wavered in her details when recounting these incidents to me, I miss her a lot, which I understand that. So I lost my mother pretty young too, so I get that. I carry her spirit with me wherever I go. But I hope I never meet this angel.
Yeah, I'd stop calling it an angel, I think.
But dude, I don't know. You pick a name for a thing, it's like hard like to not call it that,
Yeah,
I think.
alien.
The dark passenger.
Yeah.
All right, this is a bad theory. So how you were saying that every time she saw it, she would then move, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Typically, until the end.
But it kind of like the way that it was presented is like this angel was a sign that she was going to move. But what if moving was the only thing that saved her? Because this last time she tried sage, she tried all these things, she didn't leave. She didn't move.
She didn't move this time.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
I don't want like it feels gross to put that on someone's life. Like the reason she passed is because she didn't move. But because that's a real human being and a real mother we're talking about here. But in the context of the story and the way the story is framed, it's like what if it didn't come and signal that she was going to move? It's she lived because she moved.
From what I got from this, it was a different kind of movie. Like to me, this angel being there is signaling that she's going to move on soon. That's me. That's what I think.
So the other times it was like physically
moving, and the last time
was
was a
like
different kind of movie.
we didn't talk about these stories before we picked them, but there's definitely some crossover here.
There's
there is.
something like very symbolic in there for sure.
Yeah. No, it's dark, but also I don't know if it's dark because of the entity or like I think I said it. Like I think it's taking on almost like the physical manifestation of her life.
Right. Wow, yeah. That one I'm gonna be thinking about deeply tonight.
Yeah, when I read that story, I was like, "This is gonna be perfect for Wheezy. I think she'll like it a lot."
Thank you. You're gonna send me an existential crisis
I know he's got a big ass
at
mirror over there.
26.
Oh, man, she was only 44 when she passed. That's so sad.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's uncomfortably close to how old I am.
You still got over 10 years, but
Still uncomfortable.
I'm a
Who-
baby. Jeez.
Well, yeah, I know it's okay.
are you 25, right?
26 years.
26.
You
I
say
just turned
when was your birthday?
September 1st.
Okay.
Why'd you say like you were insulted? You were invited.
No, it was genuine curiosity. Well, happy belated birthday. And it was like two months ago.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
2026 is a great year.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I've heard nobody likes you when you're 26.
Okay, so now's the part of the episode where we kind of recap the stories and we have to rate them.
Okay.
So we got Anna's story. So she was working at a long-term nursing facility.
Yeah.
She goes in this room, sees this inky thing in her mind's eye that's got like a glowing white middle section, and then it's black, and she's not getting good, bad, threatening, non-threatening, but it's there.
But it did reduce her to tears.
She did cry. Well, I mean, it's not necessarily like I did this to you. I think that's just the way that her body processed what she was seeing or seeing.
Yeah.
I don't think it was like, I'm going to scare you and make you cry. I think it was just there and it's just like, oh shit, she can see me. Here I am. That's on you. But then so she starts crying. She goes back. It's still there. And then the family comes and the nurse are like, she's dying. And then it disappears. So we got believable, viable, skeptical, and unbelievable.
Yeah. No, I mean, I also do think that this is kind of like, I think it's death. I don't know. I can't get that out of my head.
That was your initial instinct.
I can't get out of my head. I think it's death. I think she saw death. Thank goodness she didn't touch it.
You had the instinct, just like inky blot.
Yeah.
Like, hey, high five.
What are you?
Fist bump. Death.
Like in Family Guy, he kills everybody he loves.
I like a cut, Jeep. I think, well, and it does sound like death because I have a friend who says, it's a different friend, but she says that she's working with, I guess she's very spiritual. She says that she's working with like different deities and like gods and things like that. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm kind of like, hey, I'm here. But like she talks about having worked with death before or having seen death before, and that's kind of how death is described.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's from what I've heard too. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's like I guess not a form, right? It's like the way she described it, where she's like, it could fill up the whole room if it wanted to.
But almost religious too, with like the way Mary Magdalene stuck out to me.
I
That's
go
heavy.
viable. I go viable. I think it could
Viable
happen.
too, actually.
It's in a nursing home. That's where death is.
He's just hanging out.
It's believable to
Nursing
me.
homes are fucking where people go to die.
Yeah, no, I believe it. I believe that.
It's just
100%.
it's a tour he goes through, just from this one to that one.
Yeah.
That's why he needs to be able to fill out the whole room. He just needs to be able to take the whole building. Just,
Mhm.
all right,
Yeah.
new people.
Oh.
All right, well then, so your story.
So we have this story of her mother. It's an angel, and she says it's an angel her whole
Did
life.
she tell us her mother's name?
No,
Because her okay.
did not. It takes place in Alberta, Canada, which is I've never been to Alberta. Pretty cool. Her mother sees this thing her whole life as a child.
He's sorry to spook you there. It's gotta take you with me. Sorry though.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oof.
Have you seen the Toronto
Blue Jays, they almost won there.
But yeah, she sees this thing her whole life, and it like progresses, it changes as she gets older, and then eventually she sees it in her house almost every day.
And no one else witnessed it though.
No,
I say that like the last story there was multiple witnesses.
right?
But it's always a little more difficult when there's less than
One witness.
or there's less than two. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's only one witness. And she did admit her mom was having had some mental challenges.
She did say that. But she said she never hallucinated outside of that. I'm not saying that's a hallucination.
Outside of
Saying
other than this hallucination, she did. No, I know it's just tough because I don't know. What do you think, Wheezy?
I think skeptical. At first, I was very skeptical, but also I'm like,
it's a thinker. It's definitely a thinker.
it is a thinker. I want to see if I can find some kind of like, if I can do reading or something on something that makes sense for the symbolism of it, because like, if it's a spirit, they work in very silly ways. Like, not silly, but maybe like confusing ways for us.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what kind of lore this spirit or whatever the fucking entity is. What kind of lore it has.
I mean, in my mind, it still makes sense that it's this thing taking on her life, almost acting as a shield.
Yeah.
So you do see it as more of a protector.
Weirdly enough, I do.
So would you say that the her being afraid of it is not intentional? That's just the way that was just her body's reaction to seeing
Yeah.
it.
No. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah, the body being caught off guard, absolutely. You'd have no clue. Like, especially if it's like shit, naturally, like we have instincts, like first instinct of you don't know what that something is, you're going to be fucking terrified of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I think it was. I wonder if she got used to it toward the end. I don't know if you ever
Yeah.
could really, but yeah, that's what I think it is.
So where are you going?
I go viable. I believe in spirits. I believe in guardians. So
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go viable as well.
I'm going to go skeptical.
that's fair. That's a fair, valid point.
Last night, my son, where he sleeps, I have a 4-year-old, and there's a calendar, a Sesame Street calendar that is like directly in front of him. And he woke up at like 1 a.m. to use the bathroom, and he's like, there were eyes and faces coming at me out of the calendar.
No, there
And
wasn't.
I looked at it, and I'm like, it's October. I'm like, well, I'm gonna flip that page. Look, it's Cookie Monster now. It's good. And
That's not the first time you said that about a poster, though.
no, yeah, there's a Mickey Mouse poster in his room too that he said was freaking him out. That was staring. I took that shit down. I put Dave Matthews Band poster up there. You're taking Mickey down.
I had a dresser growing up, and the knobs, it looked like the top knobs on the very top drawer were different than all of the rest of the knobs for some reason. But it felt like when I was a kid, like it had eyes and it was watching me sleep. So I would have to have my mom cover it up with a blanket
Oh,
and like
God.
fold the blanket in top. And I now think of that as a 26-year-old. Like if some kid told me that, I was trying to put them to bed, I'd be like, it does have eyes. I'll take that whole thing out.
Yeah,
I'm doing it tonight.
I know it's so
You want
funny
to burn it with me?
Office Space that shit.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely. Office Space.
We
Facebook Marketplace it.
pass it on to someone else. Okay, we were talking about haunted objects. Like, if you had a haunted ass doll, would you feel guilty putting it on eBay and or going to like Goodwill and just dropping it off? Like, would you morally, would you be able to do that, or would you just like bury
No.
it?
No, I would feel so bad. Like, what if that doll has a child connected to it? Like,
Oh,
Yeah, that's like an am I the asshole?
that's like
Like, yeah,
extra abandoned. It's like, BPD? Who?
Yeah.
Fucking ghost BPD? You're poltergeist. Like,
Yeah, it's so funny because like in a lot of our stories, like the dads are always like, "The house isn't haunted." We joke it's like the mortgage is whatever, and it's like, but we always make fun of this horror movie dad character where it's like anything but a ghost. But then when it's my own child, I'm like, nah, it's just a calendar.
Yeah, in your
yeah, it's just a shut up, go to bed.
I can't tell him I believe in all this shit though.
No, he has no idea what you do.
Not now.
You cannot tell him until he's older.
No, Joey thinks that I live here.
He does.
He thinks
He
I-
thinks Charlie is always here.
Yeah,
This is the only place he sees you.
yeah, he thinks I live here, my house.
Funny.
We're here enough that we basically do.
That's true.
Well, Wheezy, thank you so much for joining us. Other than the movie, like, is there anything else on the horizon? Any projects? Anything you got coming up that you'd like to talk about or promote? Or
Damn, you caught me off guard. I can't even think of anything. I don't know.
Sorry.
I'm just here. I'm
You're
just
just
happy
here?
to be here.
You're on TikTok, you're on Instagram, or you anywhere else?
Yeah, everywhere.
Everywhere.
YouTube is growing rapidly, which is crazy. I have almost 100,000 subs on YouTube already, and
Wow.
where are you gonna put your plaque on that wall on the space behind you? Do you have a space picked out?
I don't know what to do. I don't know where I would put it.
It's a good problem.
Your right. Yeah, I was gonna say your right looks a little bit
Bare, right?
bare.
Looks like it needs a
That
plaque.
looks like I could see exactly where it would go. Like
I think
He's
so
directing
too.
it.
Maybe that
He's-
spot's been saved.
He's an interior
It's good- wait,
directing for
wait, you're saying that spot's already been saved for something?
No,
Oh, okay.
I'm
Then
just saying
I
now
think
it is saved. It's got the plaque's name all over it.
There you go.
perfect.
No, yeah, thank you so much for having me. First of all, but yeah, I can't think of anything else. I'm just living the dream and.
I do have a question because I think I don't know when this was, and I don't know, like, we don't go to shit, so I don't know if it was like a VidCon or if it was like something for Twitch. But I believe, and if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, and I'm mistaking you for someone else. But did you get to meet Rhett from Rhett and Link?
Yeah.
Jeez, out of any experience you've had in your life, that is the one I'm the most jealous. But I'm actually wearing my GMM.
I noticed it earlier. I was gonna say something, but yeah, I feel bad because I was at a creator hotel because they have creator spaces for all of us to go and like.
Safety wise, that makes a lot of sense.
And I feel bad because I know that he was talking with people, but I knew if I didn't take my chance just to say like, "Hi, nice to meet you. Can I get a picture? All right, deuces." Like, I wouldn't get the chance. So I interrupted him a little bit. And I was like, "Can I just get a quick picture?" He's like, "Yeah, let me finish up talking with these people." I was like, "Please, okay." And
I'm like, I got
he took
time,
pictures.
dude. Like, I'm gonna be right
Whatever
here.
you need.
And you
Mr.
can't.
Yeah.
Your 6'7" ass can't get away from me. I'm gonna find you.
He big boy. But it was actually really, really cool because so a little bit of lore again, talking about the same person I was living with and whatever when I started TikTok. He actually introduced me to Good Mythical Morning, and he was a huge fan of them. And when we were teenagers, he was a huge fan of them, a few other YouTubers, and I remember saying to him, "I'm gonna help you meet this person one day."
Hmm.
Well, obviously we didn't work out.
Did that
I think I
taint?
promised me I would meet them one day.
Did that experience did that taint GMM for you a little bit?
Oh no.
Oh, that's
Good,
good.
good,
Okay, some
very good.
friends that shared experiences or like bands or
I
shows,
think
like after
Yeah.
Things pass and it's like,
you
'cause-
took it.
It,
yeah,
took ownership
that's the
of it.
best way to do it is to take it. Yeah.
it lets me recollect and reevaluate like who I was at that time, and then going back to it and like seeing what parts of me are the same and what parts are very different, and like the life changes. I don't know, I'm a nostalgic kind of sentimental person, so I keep memories. I don't really, I have boxes for every year, and it doesn't really matter who gave it to me, if it's somebody I hate or if it's somebody for some reason I have to keep it. If it's something tiny, I have to have it, at least one.
I think generationally, probably starting with millennials, maybe Gen X. I don't know, but like the fact that we have phones with cameras, like I literally my new phone. I was like, I want to get a terabyte. I didn't get it. I got like 500 gig, but it's because my storage is always full because I have like 5 million photos of my son. But like my parents probably had like 30 of me because you had to get the Walmart and then
Yeah.
yeah, and it's like, but we're like our generation is like the way that our parents couldn't take a picture and then pull up their phone and be like, wow, that zoo trip was 3 years ago. Like I remember that like it was yesterday. Like we get that. Like we are seeing things so quickly where I feel like they didn't. So it's kind of a new experience for our generation, I feel like.
It'd make me depressed, honestly, thinking about that and being like, "Wow, I didn't take enough pictures. I didn't."
We
And
do that
now
all
there's
the
all this
time.
technology you can, but I didn't get the chance. Like, awesome, everybody else gets the chance, but what about me? You
We do
know?
that all the time. Like we go out and do things, and we're like, "Oh, we should have took some pictures."
We are a podcast. We are not content creators because we'll do shit. We'll go somewhere and it'll be like on the drive home. You're like, fuck.
Fuck, yeah.
That I made a good post, but um it's okay. So my last question, and I know these are coming more as like a fan than like you promoting your own thing, but like, how did the relationship of like the group with like you got Haley and Kendra and stuff, like how did all that come about?
Oh my gosh. So I was streaming one night and Haley was streaming on their account and she comes into my stream and like
Like a
I
raid
was I
or
was
like
doing subathon
okay,
and
okay.
she comes in and she donates to my timer like 300, $400 and is just like fucking with me. And then we all of a sudden, she messaged me on Whisper and she gave me some contact information and then we started a streak and have not ended our streak since that day. And then, I told her about, one of my other friends, Queen, and then I told her about my friends Nora and Reckless, and then it just clicked. Everything just clicked. It was
Y-
really cool.
it's cool because like I know like social media is not real life, but from the outside, it's like it seems so cool to have like a good genuine group of friends. Two things. One, friends who have the means to like go on cool trips, but also like you're with people that get it, right? Like
Yeah.
they're people that know, even though different content types, but there's not like the one friend who like doesn't make content, so you're always like kind of like bridging between like your friends that can go out on these cool trips and be genuine friends, but also like they understand you at a level that a lot of other people wouldn't.
There's a different like respect level and a different understanding, absolutely. Like, I have, friends from my childhood that don't really get it and don't really understand how it all works. And, I'll talk to people like even much older than me that still don't understand how any of it works or like even adulthood or like running a business or like, but, yeah, realizing that I am young and on a different level of people my age makes me feel very lucky, but also very like alone
Yeah.
Yeah,
in a weird
for
way.
sure. For sure.
But it definitely, Haley and Kendra definitely like made me remember that I'm not alone in that. Hey, yo, people can be real, especially in the industry. They can be real after so many people in the industry can be
Well,
bad.
well, I mean, guarded in terms of like relationships where it's like, what can you do for me? Or, like, what can I get from you?
The transactional process is such a narcissistic, actual like way to treat people and or idea of how the world works, and it's just not how it should be. It shouldn't be transactional no matter what. If it's a like, I mean, sure, business wise, yeah, if you want to talk about money, whatever, but if it's human being to human being, there should never be a transaction in place there.
100%. I like the
I
cat,
agree
by
with
the way.
that.
Do you have
There's
two
another.
cats?
There's another behind.
Yeah, there was a moment
I
on
saw
the.
it in the mirror, and
Yeah.
I was like,
Did it
"Oh
freak you
god!"
for a
I was
second?
like, "Oh god, there's got to be a cat. It's got to be a cat."
It was during your story because I was focused on reading mine.
It was
But it
from
was like
yours.
over your shoulder. I see this like black object move. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna tell her.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
I'm
tell
not
her.
gonna tell
Replace this fucking.
her.
Like she
No.
thought Henry was gone. He's just chilling in the backseat. But then I saw the tail,
Yeah,
and
that
I
was
was like,
You're a fucking
okay.
shapeshifter, bro.
yeah.
Um,
Well, thank you for coming on.
yes,
This was amazing. Thank you.
yeah. Seriously, I know you're incredibly busy, so thank you for taking some time and doing this collab with us here.
No, thank you for having me. Thank you for asking me, and thank you for working with my busy schedule. It's very nice that I was actually able to keep on track and keep on time with this one.